So today I will be talking about the art of self-creation, and I'll be tying in the symbolism of the sun and also the symbolism of the solar solstice into the talk. And I would like to present, as the sort of resident artist and creative, the emotional, internal, and heart aspect, maybe the intuitive aspect of the talks given today. And to accompany my talk, I've made a slideshow of artworks for your reflection. So in this first image, this is from the alchemical manuscript called Clavis Artis, and it is a depiction of the Illumina Adept, and maybe that ties into the last talk pretty well. We see this solar figure there in the field, shining its light out and providing its light and life. So please meditate on this image while I speak rather poetically and intuitively. Why should I cling to mortality like I do? This mindset of mortality, this personality of mortality. Why should I be subject to the whims of fate, to be bound to the slow progress of natural evolution? Why should I cling to my material possessions and to all these childish dramas, to the rampant disorder, to sleep and repose? Why should I remain passive in this precious life, so fearful, complaining, and ignorant? Why should I have to think the way others do, to speak the way others do, to act and behave the way others do? Why should I be a slave to my fears, desires, and the needs of the body if I am not the body? I will show the divine intelligence that I am willing to make an effort now to remember my divine heritage, that I am a microcosm of the macrocosm. I will become the master of myself. O eternal light within my heart, nature has not darkened you. Shine forth, fill me with this light and life. Remove what is mortal within me. This is a photograph of the Patelia tablet. It is made of gold. It is an ancient Greek artifact dating from the 3rd to 2nd centuries BCE. And it contains Orphic inscriptions providing instructions for navigating the afterlife. It was discovered near the city of Patelia in southern Italy and is currently housed in the British Museum, and I'm going to read it to you. You will find a spring on the left in Hades' halls, and by it the cypress with its luminous sheen. Do not go near this spring or drink its waters. You will find another, cold water flowing from memory's lake. Its guardians stand before it. Say to them, I am a child of earth and starry heaven, but descended from heaven. You yourselves know this. I am parched with thirst and dying. Quickly, give me the cool water flowing from memory's lake. And they will give you water from the sacred spring, and then you will join the heroes at their rites. This is a wonderful painting by William Blake, The Creation of Light. Creation. As an artist, I study creation. Creation is sublime because it can be as terrifying as it is awe-inspiring. In every moment, the primordial vitality dances across the infinite space. Looking out into the cosmos, there are between 100 to 200 billion galaxies that we've recorded. And there's an estimated 200 billion trillion stars. that we've also witnessed and recorded. And so far, looking out into space, we've recorded 4,700 planetary systems like our own. But imagine how many more there must be with that amount of stars. And this is just an arm realm. Imagine the vast invisible realms, how vast they must be. And in the totality, the vastness of creation is so much, is so large, we retract from it. We pull ourselves into our tiny, tight identities, into our tiny little worlds. And in all of us people who cling to our identities so tightly, what we're really saying is, I'm happy with my current fears. I'm happy with my limiting beliefs. I'm happy with this tiny self-identity. Just imagine there are infinite realms of perception, rivers of sensations flowing from eternity out into eternity for eternity. Everything is so alive, fresh, and spontaneous, except for our rigid minds and fears. How can we open up to creation? How can we stop resisting it? How can we move into an active state of co-creating, of coming into harmony with the universe? How can we reclaim our starry heritage? So we recognize our founder, and the image behind him is a collection of some of the founding members. All of these people, though we may not have ever met them, played a significant role in our lives. As we all come together to joyously celebrate the sun reaching its zenith, filling the world with light and life, let us now reflect on our journeys to this present moment. Really go back and reflect all the challenges you've overcome, all the patterns and habits and things you've transformed, all the love that you've given, all the compassion you've developed, all the time spent studying and reading. How far you have come, and how fortunate we all are. I often reflect on how lucky I am to be practicing goodness, to be practicing joy, out of all else I could be doing with my time, out of all the endless traps and snares on this earth. How merciful the divine has been to take a blind wanderer like me and to put him on the path. Is there any greater fortune than this? We should rejoice for our good fortune to have this precious, precious human life, to have awakened to our spiritual nature, to have found teachings and time to practice them. We should be grateful for what we have because in the flowing currents of energy throughout creation, everything is always transforming. Therefore, everything, no matter how solid it seems, is easy to lose. This is our circumstance now, but will it be in the future? What will our future lives have to offer us? We are here today because of the members who came before us, kept us in mind in their plans and their daily actions to sustain the order. They took an active stance towards their creativity to ensure that these teachings remained here. Now it is our turn, not only to practice for ourselves, but for those in the future who come seeking the greater light. We must ensure that the buildings at Rosicrucian Park and the teachings are still around, and most importantly, that there are members who have realized and actualized the teachings. How are you using your powers to make the world a more beautiful place? Not just now, but for future generations. This is how the art of self-creation begins. None of us are doing this on our own. Everything I've learned, every single thing has either come through the love, care, and patience of a teacher, or I discovered it on my own. And there's very little I discovered on my own. The vast majority has come through the love of a teacher, and this is culture, an effort of love and devotion passed on generation to generation. Nothing is accomplished without the love of the teacher. Whether it is in person, through a book, or some other form of media, someone took the time to think of you and your suffering. So let's take a moment to think of all of our teachers now, all of our spiritual teachers, everyone who has lifted up your heart even just a little bit, all of the books of wisdom, the person who taught you how to read and write, how critical they were. All of these beings, visible and invisible, that have contributed to your evolution. Now imagine your spiritual ideals, whatever that may be, the rose quartz, saints you admire, ascended masters, the accomplished ones that guide humanity, these ones so worthy of praise. See them all gathered here as at a table for a feast. And now holding them in our hearts, let's offer to them every fruit and flower, every precious gem that the world contains, all the pure waters of refreshment, all the trees of paradise adorned with blossoms, the perfumed fragrances of divine realms, and every sumptuous object worthy to be offered, hold them all before your mind and see them receiving these precious gifts. This is an oil painting by Munch titled The Sun. What is more beautiful than the sun shining in the infinite blue sky? The sun in its tremendous generosity, always giving, always shining, always illuminating. Its weight and power anchors the whole solar system and brings order to the planets. And when we look up in the night sky and we see there Jupiter and Venus and Mars, or whatever it may be, they appear to be shining like stars, but actually, they're just reflecting the sun's light. It's the same with our hearts, shining out and vivifying the rest of us. The sun has inspired devotion far back into prehistoric times. But even that sun, that beautiful image we see, is just an image, a creation of the invisible one. In Corpus Hermeticum 5, Hermes Trismegistus says to Tat, "You must understand how something that seems invisible to the multitude will become entirely visible to you. Actually, if it were not invisible, it would not always be. Everything seen has been begotten, but at some point came to be seen. But the invisible always is, and because it always is, it does not always need to come to be seen. Also, while remaining invisible, because it always is, it makes all other things visible. The very entity that makes visibility does not make itself visible. What begets is itself not begotten. What presents images of everything is not present to the imagination. For there is imagination only of things begotten, coming to be nothing but imagination. Clearly, the one who alone is unbegotten is also unimagined and invisible. But in presenting images of all things, he is seen through them, and in all of them, he is seen especially by those who he wished to see him. Let me ask you all a question. If you had to go out and find the divine today, where would you look? Really, where would you go? And now let me ask you a different question. Where would you not look? Where would the divine not be? Maybe intuitively you felt it feels wrong to exclude the divine from any place, doesn't it? This is what's known as the omnipresence of the divine. If the divine is not omnipresent, if it is omnipresent, where would it be easiest to find the divine presence? In a sunset, a flower, a child's face? Why not within ourselves? Within you, the most intimate place in this whole universe, within yourself. The flower and the sunset inspire us, but this inspiration happens within us. The beauty we see in the world is the beauty taking place in our own mind. We have trouble connecting with the divine because we seek outside of us what we have within us. Yes, we seek outside of us what we have within us. Nothing is so easily obtained as the possession and enjoyment of the divine. For in the divine we live, move, and have our being. Though we often think of ourselves as so ignorant and dull and incapable of sublime attainments, yet by our meditation we may live in divine presence. Turn within. Withdraw your senses from the circumference and find the point within your heart. Corpus Hermeticum 1. The sleep of my body became sobriety of soul. The closing of my eyes became true vision. My silence became pregnant with good. You whom we address in silence, the unspeakable, the unsayable one. This is the symbol of the sun, a point within a circle. Let us prepare ourselves for a period of meditation. Please sit with your spine erect. Relax your stomach. Allow your chest to slightly open, opening that heart center. Let your palms fall down on your thighs for now. And you can slightly tuck your chin to straighten your neck. And let's close our eyes and let's withdraw our senses and return to the point within. Feel the rise and fall of the breath. And slowly let's ground ourselves in this interiority. Please raise your hands and place them upon your heart, upon more specifically the heart center, towards the center of your chest. Imagine this vital life force as brilliant life and light of divinity. Let's breathe it in, filling our lungs, and there entering our heart and flowing through the blood to every cell of our body. See it glowing within your heart. Here at the level of the heart, we're not all so different, are we? All of us breathe. All of our hearts are beating. However we judge others, this is the same. And even with other animals we share the world with. And it's been the same for millions of years. Leaving behind the intellect and all identification, here in my heart I become life. Feel its subtle warmth, its subtle bliss. Call on that divine presence. You are in me. You are in my heart. And you ask from me only a simple turning inward to make me feel your presence. You have always been so near. I went running here and there looking for you, but I did not find you. I was miserable. I was in poverty amongst riches. I did not recognize the eternal feast of the heart. Your creation is flowing through me, and now you may feel that bliss beginning to grow and emerge. This precious gift inside of all of us. Imagine this light reaching out from your heart to all beings of the earth. Imagine these rays going across this vast universe and beyond into the invisible realms. Send out this life, wisdom, and joy to all of them. Now feel life, wisdom, and joy flowing back to you from the hearts of all beings across creation. Slowly come back, open your eyes, stretch if you need to. This is a little image I painted yesterday. Now, speaking of creation and opening our hearts, when we close our heart to someone or to a group of people because of politics, war, etc., what is it that I really can't accept? If we are all truly built on the ground of cosmic consciousness, if we truly live, move, and have our being in the divine, if that is what you believe, how can we close our heart to another? It's not their body that we're against. The body is just like meat. It's like a stone. Doesn't make any sense. And it is not their essence, their divine nature, which they all possess. Mainly it's their thoughts, words, and actions that we feel have wronged us or maybe have misperceived to have wronged us. Why should I close my heart to another being when I can so easily guard myself from thoughts, words, and actions? Now, if I turn my focus back on myself and examine my errors, I could say the same, couldn't I? I've erred in thought, speech, and actions. Yes, I was deceived and overmastered by my ignorance. Blindly, I brought forth harm and incited others to do the same. What harm I have done against my parents, teachers, and others. May the divinity within my heart cleanse my thoughts, words, and actions so that I may align myself with its presence. May I carry that presence with me always. May I purify my thoughts, words, and actions before my time has come, before I must abandon this body. All I possess and use now is like a fleeting vision of a dream. It fades into realms of memory, and fading will be seen no more. Illumined Masters, protect me, guide me. I confess my errors, direct my thoughts, words, and actions towards good and harmony, to be in accord with nature. Give me the courage to open my heart in this world, to see your light in the hearts of others, and to not withdraw in fear from your brilliance and vastness. Thank you, everyone, for coming. It's been such a beautiful and inspiring symposium. And please carry this presence, this beautiful presence within your heart. And the more you turn inward, the more you reflect on it throughout the day, you won't be so distracted by these thoughts, desires, emotions that are causing harm. You will return back to your highest essence, and you'll shine that forth to others. Enjoy this summer, enjoy this solstice, and peace profound.